Hello! So I am thinking of calling this video what I like more than histograms. So these are histograms and they are used for plotting data. And the issue that I have with them is that it is difficult to choose the size, how wide the bins should be in the histogram. Here's a histogram of some virtual height data with a mean of 6 feet and a standard deviation of 1 foot. And we can adjust the size of the bins, or we can adjust how many bins there are. If we make more bins, then the bins become smaller, just because of the way I'm plotting it here. And you get these kind of troughs. As we get a really large number of bins, the bins become so small that just by happenstance, some of the bins don't happen to have anything in them. Anyway, so it's not as if you can just make it better by making the bins really big, but you also can't make the bins too small. If you get just one bin, then everything is in that bin. 2 bin, like, you have to kind of arbitrarily decide where the bins, what size of bins to use. Anyway, there's another way to do it. I mean, it's different, but similar. I'm going to draw something here. Let's see, I'll reset this. So what we were doing is having some bins, and we take a person, and for each person we measure their height, and we decide which bin to put it in. In this new method, I mean, I don't know if new is the right word. The method that I think is better, the method that I like better, that I don't know what to call, is that you just take everybody, and you sort them. Goodness. You sort them in order. I'm using an iPad here, and I haven't figured out how to goodness. I haven't figured out how to get it to ignore some gestures. Anyway, if I draw too quickly, then it doesn't work. I'll draw one more. I got this iPad to showcase my drawing skills. But wow. It's impressive how difficult. I'll try to not to carry on about. Let's we just want to draw a graph of everyone lined up in order, and that's it. That's the graph. Let's go and see it. So the AI wrote these functions, and I asked it what name to give it. and it gave it heat map, which, I mean, it had its reasons. Here's the prompt that I used to generate. Well, first it makes sense to look at the prompt that I used to generate the first function, which was histogram. Please create the following thing: a self-contained JS function histogram samples width height, which returns an HTML div element that I can attach to the DOM, which has two children, a canvas and a slider. The slider over here. The canvas should plot a histogram of the samples with a bin size determined by the slider. Thanks. And it created this. Anyway, I then asked it to, I gave it that function, and I asked it to create a similar function to this called, and I asked it to think of a name. I didn't know of a name to use. And what we want is what we want is to simply sort the samples and plot each sample in a vertical column of its own. And I describe where I'll just run it. It'll be a lot easier to, here we go. So here are all of the the virtual people, the 100 virtual people that were generated, and they're all simply put in a line. They're lined up. Every single one of them is visible, you might say. There's no need to choose a bin size. Now, the information is different. I mean, so there's a correspondence between the information here. So first of all, you have to think of this histogram here as lying on its side. Like, this is 6 feet roughly here, but in our chart down here, 6 feet is a vertical number, and most of the people are around. I mean, we set the mean to be 6 feet. I'm not saying that this is true about reality, but of these virtual people, most of them, like, these are the individual people. Most of them are around the mean, and then there's these like really tall people over here and really short people over here. That is reflected here as well in the bins, but here it's sort of reflected without the need for the bins. That's the beauty of it. Anyway, when I first asked for this thing, it generated something that was a little bit wrong, but very beautiful. I just wanted to show that. Anyway, that's it. Thanks for watching.